Hello and welcome to lesson 1 of week 9. In this lesson, we are going to look at the data types in Python. My name is Mildred. In the last lesson, we looked at variables in Python and we said that we can assign any value to a variable. The values can be of any type, and we're going to look at the types. If we want a text type, it is of type string, written str. How do we write strings in Python? Strings are written within quotes like this. So let's say first name is equal to, and then I'll put a string, my name. So any text is written between quotes is a string. We have another data type called int, written like this, int. This is an integer. An integer is a whole number. It has the int data type. We have the float data type, which is a decimal number, and float is anything with a point. Let's say for instance I want to put something like height, and let's say the height is 1.5 is a number. This is of data type float. We have another data type which is called complex, but the complex is written like this. Let's say x is equal to 1j, like that. For this complex type, what we have is x is equal to 1j, and we use j suffix. The j suffix denotes the imaginary part of the complex number. So let's say for instance we have something like 3 plus 3j. We have the real part and the imaginary part. I'm going to explain this in detail as we begin to apply it later on. We have another data type which is called a list, and the list is a data type where a variable can hold, let's say a variable x can hold many values, and so we can write it like this: apple, banana, cherry. This is a list. So we declare a list in Python using square brackets, and within the square brackets we can now put in the values that we want the list to have. Strings are quoted, numbers are not quoted, just as we've seen. We also have tuples, and tuples are just like list but not a square bracket. To declare tuple in Python, like this. And so this is how we write tuple in Python. So this is tuple written tuple. We have another one called range, written like this, and range is just like this: x is equal to range 6. So when you say range like this, it means that you are going to return a sequence of numbers starting at 0 by default and increment by 1 by default and stop at the specified number. So if we say range 6, let's try this out, and then we have range 0, 6. So it starts at 0, it ends at the specified number. If we want to print out each of the numbers in the range, we are going to use a loop, and we're going to be looking at that later on. But for now, this is what the range is. It starts at 0. So if I want to print it like that, if I want to say for I in range 6, print I, and then we're going to see exactly what we use the range for: 0 and stop at the specified 6. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it prints out 6 numbers starting from 0 and ends at 6. If I don't want it to be like this, I can decide to specify a start range, an end range, and how to increment. Let's try that. So let's say we want to start at 1, we want to end at 6, we want it to step 2. And when I save this and I run, then I have 1, it jumps to 3 because we are having step 2, and then to 5. We also have a data type called dict, written like this, dict. And the dict is just a dictionary. What we use a dictionary to do is to have a name value pair. Like for instance, we have a dictionary called X that stores values, and the values have keys and value. So let's say the key of this is going to be name, and the value is going to be Mildred. So like this. And as a comma separated list, we can have several key value pairs like this. We have sets which also use curly brace like this, but it's not in name value pair. So you just have the curly brace without the name value pair, and that is a set in Python. So we can say x is equal to, and this is a set in Python. We have other data types like the frozen set. We can have frozen set like this. Let's say Mildred. I'll write another name here, Mary. So this is a set, but in frozen sets, we still put this whole thing in curly brace in a bracket. We have Boolean, which we call bool, written like this. Bool, and this is just true or false. We have byte, and byte is written like with a B, and then let's say hello world or hello like this. That's how we write the byte data type. We have byte array, we have memory view, and we have the non-type. The non-type is just written none like this. These are the data types in Python. You are going to come across a lot of them. I want you to play around with these data types and see how they are used. But this is just to introduce you to the data types we have. We are going to actually run examples using each data type. And we looked also in the last lesson that when you want to know the data type of any variable in Python, we use the function type and put the variable or the value within the brackets of the type. So this is where we end this lesson. In the next lesson, we are going to look at numbers, and we're going to look at how we use them in Python. Thank you, and see you in the next lesson.